The Scrum Board is another one of the Scrum artifacts. It's sometimes what's referred to as in the Agile world as a big visible information radiator. It shows this progress of all the work that we have taken into the sprint. And this really is an implementation of the Scrum value of openness. Imagine in a team area we have a large board with post-it notes on it or index cards, the state that that item is in. It makes everything visible to everyone. And just as an aside story here, at one site that I was working at, the managers loved the Scrum Board because they said it really got rid of the need to have a status meeting or for them to have somebody reporting to them what was happening with their project. Because they could simply walk by the team room, look in, and within 20 seconds they knew how things were going. So that was really an important part of Scrum for them. So here's kind of what a Scrum Board might look like. You notice here we have several states that the work can be in. So assuming we're at the beginning of a sprint, we've just done our sprint planning meeting, we've pulled ready work into our team or sprint backlog. So all the work that we're going to do this sprint is in the ready state. And then we'll have a very simple board where our work is in progress, and then it's done, and then we get acceptance by the product owner. Remember, the work, it's not finished until it's accepted. So we're at we'll throw a calendar here up. Well, we're going to say we're operating on a 2-week sprint, and I've X'd out the first day. That's been our planning day. So we're going to get on our second day and we start working on one of the work items or the backlog items there. Now, probably notice I just moved one item here. If this was a perfect textbook Scrum team, the idea would be that the whole team would swarm onto one story, work on it together, and then finish it, and then move on to the next story. The ideal is that we're always focused on getting something done. In a lot of organizations, of course, this is not entirely possible, but your focus should be on get something done first before you start the next thing. Trying to throw all your work into progress right away means you're just going to be multitasking among a lot of work and putting getting things done at risk. So, and see here, you can see our update. We've got a bit of work in progress. We're moving along in the dates. We've got that work done. Now we get the next item in there. And Lawrence, our product owner, has now accepted the work. We're moving on. We've got another piece of work done, and we've got the final piece of work now in progress. It's been accepted. And finally, the last item of work is done. And you can see that throughout this sprint, we had a very good snapshot of how things were progressing. And this is really quite important because you can imagine, a good place to hold your stand-up meetings is by this board here and be able to track how well things are moving across that board. Are we making progress vigorously enough that we are going to reach our commitment? So this is one of the important Scrum artifacts, the Scrum Board, and how it helps us realize the principle of openness, where everything about our team is visible. We have information available to us. Now, we just had a pretty good sprint here, but imagine for a moment if things hadn't gone so well. Some of those work items there that we had were getting stuck. We would have seen it very quickly in time that we could have done something about it. Again, this is why the principle of openness is so important in Scrum.